Good morning. This is Dr. Shalona McFarland here in the Philippines. And it is January 11th. This is Sunday, January 11th. And I'm going to put my glasses back on because I can't see. There we go. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about food and nutrition that can help you get um, weight release goals if that's what you're doing. Okay. Uh, there is some thing to the Jello thing. You can do Jello with some turmeric, lemon, black pepper, and something else in there. Probably pink salt or something. And that will help stimulate the balancing of the hormones because it's got a lot of collagen in it, which is helpful to the system. So there is something to that. And that's one thing you can try. And it's cheap. But I wouldn't rely on that one. So any kind of eating plan that tells you you can eat whatever you want as long as you take this little magic pill or Jello or whatever it is, they're lying to you. Okay? It's not just eat whatever you want. So, excuse me. I recommend a combination of the paleo diet and the plant paradox diet. Now, I don't like the word diet. For those of you who know me, know that I hate that word. That's a 4-letter word. However, that is what the book is called, the paleo diet. And it's from paleontologists who studied the bones of ancient people. And it was pre agriculture and post agriculture. And so the pre agriculture, which were the hunter gatherers, and they ate fruits, vegetables, meats, and nuts. That's it. They didn't have any grains because they didn't plant anything, and they certainly weren't going to spend hours of their day gathering grains and then crushing those grains or shucking them or whatever they need to do first, and then mixing it with stuff and then finding a way to bake it. They weren't going to do that. That's not how they lived. So um, they didn't do grains at all. They didn't do dairy because, well, they weren't a cow. They didn't do corn or soy because, of course, those are planted as well. And they didn't do legumes, beans, because those are also planted. I mean, they might have a couple here and there if they found a wild little bean hanging off of a stalk and went, huh, what's that? And tried it and went, ah, that's not bad. Okay, cool. We'll look for that next time we're in the area. So the Paleolithic people, they did fruits, vegetables, meats, and nuts. No corn, no soy, no dairy, no legumes, no grains. And what that does is that eliminates all of the allergenic foods that you might be consuming. Okay. Now, if you're allergic to actual nuts, obviously don't eat that. A peanut is not a nut, that is a legume. So it's a bean. It's actually a bean. Cashews are not nuts, those are actually fruits. And so you want to stay away from them as well. So, as far as the science showed, the pre agriculture group, the hunter gatherers, they lived longer, they had lower infant mortality rates, they had stronger bones, less fractures. And so they were stronger overall than the group that sat around and grew things and didn't move like they were supposed to. So they didn't have those strong muscles. So if you weight train, which you probably should be doing, when you lift those weights and build the muscle, when you build the muscle, that's actually strengthening the bone. So you have to have strong muscles in order to have strong bones. So as a hunter-gatherer, they had to run around, gather stuff up, hunt for things, pull bows, things like that. And all of those things strengthened muscle, strengthened bone. Okay. The post-agriculture people didn't have to do that so much. They still had to work, but it wasn't the same. And so the post-agriculture folks had higher infant mortality rate, higher fracture rates, worse teeth. That was the other thing. The Paleolithic man had really good teeth, oddly enough. And their lifespans were much shorter. So, things to think about. That is just what the research showed. If you want to read a really interesting book, read The Paleo Diet. I do highly recommend it. Now I combine it with the Plant Paradox and I use the Plant Paradox cookbook. That one, it's about the first 40 pages of it explain the book. So it's a nice condensed version of it. But if you want all the science behind it, it's in the big book, The Plant Paradox. And The Plant Paradox is by Dr. Stephen Gundry. And he actually lived by this. And he was a heart surgeon who noticed he had a very unhealthy heart no matter what he did. And no matter how much he exercised or what kind of exercise he did, until he changed his eating habits. And he says it's not paleo or keto or anything like that. It's his own thing, but it's pretty much the same thing. Fruits, vegetables, meats, and nuts. You eliminate the grains on the Plant Paradox. It eliminates the grains completely for a time period, and then you can introduce them back in if you want to. However, I know when I did it, I released 20 pounds in 6 weeks when I got really strict with myself. And I felt really good. No aches or pains, no inflammatory issues going on. It was really good. And it was just combining those two. And so the Plant Paradox tells you which fruits, vegetables, and nuts to consume and which ones to stay away from and why. And so it's very informative. Both of those really, really good books, fairly easy to read and understand. And they do a really good job of explaining why you want to do that. And they work. I can tell you from personal experience, they work. All right. So hopefully that gives you something to think about and chew on today. If you have weight release goals, then that would be the eating habit I recommend. Okay. Make sure you're getting a good variety of fruits and vegetables and seeds and nuts and such, because that's going to keep your gut biome healthy. And if you have a healthy gut biome, you have a healthy immune system. If you don't have a healthy gut biome, you don't have a healthy immune system. So if you're dealing with that, that's another thing to look at and think about. All right, guys? I think that is it for today. I'm sitting just under 10 minutes right now, so hope that gave you the information you wanted today. God bless, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.